Hey there, Ulti Zeta here, and welcome back to more Let's Play Pokémon Sword. In the last episode, we started the Count and Tundra and got really annoyed at Dynamax raids because the game finally forced me into a situation where I had to partake in them to less than stellar effects and results, if I must say. I'm not necessarily going to, backtrack on anything that I said in the previous episode. Not exactly pleased with how much I overreact, but at the same time, I really don't think they work well. But let's move on from that annoyance and just proceed instead to start the situations going on here. So, there's a bunch of legendary Pokemon-related quests to partake in, and the first of which you want to partake in by the camera angles were very much indicating that you needed to look at this thing on the table here. Looks like a giant popcorn kernel. Hey Chief, my pillow's caught your eye. He's got some wisdom to impart. You can put your head on it and have a kip, it's a pillow. Unfortunately, I went and left my favorite pillow back at home, so I went to have a look around town for something to rest my head on, and I found this out back behind the inn. Can I have it? I don't have a pillow either. ... What's that? You think my pillow's got something to do with a legendary Pokemon? Yeah, inside of your pillow are Articuno feathers. Gah, Ultra Mega, seriously? This is just some old thing I found. But if you really want it, Chief, who am I to refuse? Go on, then have it, but you better make sure you track that legend down. Ah, so it's not that we utilize invisible things, it's that whatever we touch with our hand automatically becomes visible. Fascinating! We just, like, swipe at it, and it just disappears from this plane of existence! The human world is so magical! Anyways, now that we have that, we put it on this. Rustle, rustle, shrunk. They can't be bothered to animate putting a thing on the thing, so they just fade to black. The wooden crown fit perfectly on the statue. Crow-own. Gasp! It's like looking into a mirror. Does it want you to follow it? I don't know. Hi, what's up? Fascinating bushes, I agree. Hello? You're obviously supposed to press A on it, but I'm amused by the fact that you can just kind of wander around it and it doesn't react. Usually in this kind of situation, like, you would just, like, have a cutscene, you know? Also, I like that I can push Nardole into the bushes and he, like, vanishes instantly, but then, like, schwarps up out of nowhere from behind me? I'm surprised that it doesn't, like, repeat that animation, like, both ways, you know? Anyways, let's actually talk to it now. Hello. You're a little deer. Crawn. It seems as if the mysterious Pokemon wants to test your strength. Do you want to ready a Pokeball? Sure. Rah! Row Crown. Question mark, question mark, question mark appeared. Hello. Row round. It's unnerving, and we don't know anything about it. It used Giga Drain. Well, Nardole is dead now. We'll pop the bulbous head on it with a stake. We don't... I think we do have to defeat it here. So... I don't think it's good to run. It's a grass type though, so it just dies to fire. So I really killed Nardole for nothing, but whatever. It's fine, it's fine. Riveting. Who are you? Okay, it's saying a lot of stuff. Sure. Vigorating. Hi. I heard a big ruckus coming from over here. What's this now, Chief? Were you having a Pokémon battle? Huh? What a massive noggin! You don't just go around calling people's heads big. And then suddenly he is possessed. Ah yes, a sturdy body, just as I expected. I hope he doesn't mind that I make use of it for the time being. Are you the Pokémon? I see you've already grasped the situation. How very astute. I am Calyrex. I am the one known as the King of Bountiful Harvests. I have borrowed this man's body in order to thank you in person, so to speak. Indeed, there are no words to adequately express my gratitude towards you for restoring my statue. In days long past, I reigned over these lands as a king. The humans offered me their loyalty and respect as I was able to bring lush vegetation to the land and give them plentiful harvests year after year. However, it seems that over many, many years, the people of this land have forgotten my existence. They used to make offerings to me every year, but even that tradition has long since been lost to the ravages of time. You see, it is the faith of the people that grants me strength, and now I have lost all but a fraction of my former power. Even my loyal steed has abandoned me. However, you are kind enough to restore my statue. That act has returned some strength to me, at least enough to speak to you by borrowing the body of another. Now, kind-hearted human child, I have a favor to ask you. I must know once and for all whether the people have truly forgotten about me. I wish you to speak to the villagers and ask if they remember the King of Bountiful Harvests. I have tried asking them myself, you understand, but they treated me like some sort of fairy tale creature or flew into a mild panic at the sight of me. Please, kind-hearted human, I beg you to help me. Okay. Let's go help the deer. Let's talk to everybody. Hi. Famous for carrots. He had nothing to say. Pokemon King, it's an old fairy tale. Hello. Grow the crops. That's what they want. You're doing nothing right now. Good for you. Is there anyone else that I'm supposed to talk to, or what? You. Main tourist attraction. Okay. We have officially talked to everybody. Back to the deer. Hello. We were able to speak to them. They said that you're just a fairy tale, so let's grab you and put you in their line of sight. He's not grieving. He's the King of Bountiful Harvests, after all. Just like Leon is the unbeatable champion. He knows better than to count on humans. This proves beyond doubt that I cannot simply rely on human faith if I want my powers to return. If only my loyal steed were to return to me, I would regain something of what I've lost. Is that a Pokémon? It's technically two. The four-legged Pokémon that I used to ride all across the land. The very same Pokémon that my statue in the village shows me riding. Alas, though in ancient times we spent many days together dashing through the valleys over in the mountains of this land, My power waned and I was forced to part ways with it. Now I know not where it might be. Even if we should succeed in locating my loyal steed, I have my doubts as to whether it has remained, well, loyal. I have lost so much power. Perhaps the villagers know something about my currently not-so-loyal steed. I would be in your debt if you could speak to the head of the village on my behalf. If you are able to find any information at all, I would ask that you let me know. Hi, Peony. What's up? I don't have a massive noggin. I must have fallen asleep where I stood. Sorry about that. I feel strange, like my body's not quite my own. Guess I'll head back to base and get some rest. It's freezing out here. Okay. The way that Calyrex uses Peony to talk is interesting to me because, like, it very clearly illustrates that, like, Pokemon, or at least a Pokemon like Peony, has the ability to talk. Or, like, ability to understand language, but not necessarily the ability to actually physically speak it, which is less of an intelligence thing and more of, like, a literal tongue thing. Because, like, that's a fun fact that I've learned about from, as a kid, just kind of just existing in general, was that the reason why some animals actually can mimic human speech, like parrots and whatnot, is because they have round tongues, like humans do. And other animals, like dogs for instance, or cats or whatever, their tongues are flat, which means that they cannot make the same noises as humans, so they cannot speak. Oh, I found some tracks. Cool. So, yeah, that's a neato mosquito thing. Alright, so now that we're exploring a little bit deeper into the Crown Tundra and all that stuff, I'm gonna be kind of, like, going about this in a not exactly, like, super linear way, per se. I'm just gonna be going around and doing what's sort of in front of me. To that extent. Oh, I saw something red there for a second. Weird. So, to that extent, I'm not immediately going to find that mayor and continue the Calyrex stuff. Instead, there's a giant temple here, so I mean, like, you know, that'd probably be a good thing to look into. It's Peony. You found someplace ruiny looking, that's one of the places where the legendary giants are supposed to be. You see a door with mysterious writing on it? I hear no one's ever been able to get it open. This adventure is called The Terrible Titans, Lurking Locked Away. Well, how's that grab you? Right then, Chief. I eagerly leave the rest of this research into your hands. Talk to you later. Alright, so... basically, the Gen 8 DLC introduced a new Reggie. 2, in fact. But I already have one. I'll be getting the other one this time, but that's not who is in here. Let ring the piercing note that will wake the Giant of Steel. Ah, my boyfriend's in here. Got it. Let's use the very, very familiar mechanic that we've been doing all this entire game, pressing in on the left stick to whistle and attract Pokemon to you. That is what causes this door to open. And by coming in here and stepping on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Something changed in the air. Now, a steely power is emanating. GGZGzo! It's Registeel. I feel very, very mixed about the Regis being introduced in this sort of way. For, Gen 9? Gen 8? I can't count. Because, like, the thing that I love about the Regis is how tied to Hoenn they are. It feels very, like... It feels very tied to Hoenn. And, like... They had, like, such an extreme mystique in that region that, like, is practically unmatched, essentially. So I've never really loved when other regions have tried to, like, involve the Regis in some way. Because it feels like it's trying to take them away from Hoenn and what made them exciting to begin with. In that regard. Gen 4 introduced Regigigas, which I've always kind of just been indifferent towards. But at the very least, Regigigas was like... It didn't, like, re-bring the Regis. You had to bring the Regis from Hoenn in order to get them. You know? So... And other games, like Gen 6 or 7, wouldn't really try to integrate these Pokemon into their worlds. It was kind of like, oh, Ultra Wormholes, or, like, Mystery Spots, or whatever. Like, kind of hand-wavy explanations for them, you know? Whereas... Gen 8 actually making them part of, like, this little bit of the Crown Tundra here gives me a really weird vibe. It's not like... It's just... I don't really agree with the idea that, like, the Regis can exist in multiple places, I guess? Because, like, in a lot of ways, most of the time when I think of Pokemon sort of just existing, like, legendary Pokemon, like, the idea is that there's only one of them, you know? Or is that there's at least only supposed to be one. Oh, I was trying to find that. So, you know, there's... Why is there an Aerodactyl here? I guess there was, like, the Amara, too, so there are other fossil Pokemon, but it just feels wrong to see fossil Pokemon in the wild without any explanation. Oh well. Anyways. Like, the issue that I have is just that it feels like it breaks the world. Why are you crawling? No, I do not like that. No, 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 no. Get back in your ball. Do not crawl after me like that. Thank you, and good night. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by things. So, like, what bugs me about it is just, like, to me, in my head, there's only one set of Regis. So, like, having the Regis here, in a way that's, like, supposed to be, like, specific towards, you know... In a way that's supposed to be specific towards... Like, they're actually here and not just a hand-wavy, oh, yeah, whatever, it's just an excuse for you to get them. thought there was something sparkling here. God. I can't tell when things are sparkling sometimes. I don't know. In the end, it just... It really bugs me that, like, it plays loose with that sort of situation. It doesn't really provide, like, a good reason for why there's others. Why there's multiple Reggies. Because it's either that there's multiple Reggies, which doesn't take away from, like, their excitement and mystique in that regard, or this is retconning the idea that they never existed in Hoenn in the first place. Or it's just one of those Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, oh, like, alternate timeline shenanigans. It's like, what? Why are you introducing that into Pokemon now? So, I don't know, that's why I dislike... Not even just the fact that they added new Reggies, but the fact that they have Reggies here at all. Just doesn't feel right to me. Oh. Moving beyond that, I don't really love the new Reggies themselves either, but I'll get into them when, you know, we reach them. For now, we're just here. I'm not really focusing too hard, that's why I just used U-turn on a bug type. I don't know. I really care about, like, world building and consistency and lore in that regard. And sometimes it just feels like they're... Not necessarily like they don't care, but, like, that, like... There's a difference in priority, I guess. And here they prioritize Reggies over consistency. Also, I thought Ground was strong on Bug. I must be confusing it for Rock. Really, those are, like, the two, like, Pokemon types I always get confused the most between, is Ground and Rock. Which feels understandable to get those two confused. But, oh well. I don't really know why I even fought the Araquanid. I mean, I guess I was just kind of... Again, I'm not really thinking about the game too much. I'm kind of doing this weird, awkward, like, multitask thing, where I'm just like... I've got multiple things on my mind that I'm... Oh, there's a bird in my face. But yeah, like... That ultimately is just, like, my annoyance with, like, the idea of the Reggies coming back. I didn't see a thing there, I was just mashing the A button. This is a fantastic camera angle that I got going on. That was a whole lot. I have never done this footprint thing before, so I don't know where it all is, so I'm probably going to wind up needing a guide for that. I do absolutely want to do it, though, because I found out what you get from it, and it's definitely a worthwhile reward. I'll just say it outright, because this is all about, like, all the things here are legendary Pokemon, and some of them are old legendary Pokemon, some of them are new. Those ones, in particular, are the Swords of Justice. Those are the footprints of the Swords of Justice. Cobalion, Virizion, and Terrakion. And the reward you get for getting the three of them is you get, Keldeo. And I actually do need a Keldeo. Technically I don't, because of my Gen 5 event spree that I went on back during that Let's Play. Also, here's the mayor that we're looking for. So there was, like, that big Gen 5 event spree that I went on, so I have, like, 2 Keldeos that way. But number one, I don't have the special Resolute form of Keldeo yet. And this Keldeo that you get for doing this Sword of Justice quest does give you Resolute form, which is perfect for me, exactly what I would like and want. But also, it would just be nice to have a non-event Keldeo. A legit Keldeo that's, like, has my trainer name on it and all that jazz. That would be cool. So, yeah, I will be doing that. And I will surely need to look up help for it, because, like, mostly because, like, all these footprints are very tiny, and there's a lot of them, it seems. So, yeah, it will be a thing, but I'll do what I can over the course of things. Anyways, let's stop meandering and go talk to the mayor and activate this cutscene. He's just standing over here. Hi, what's up? Alas, this field is no good either. The soil is barren, no crop could possibly grow here now. Perhaps the lands of the Crown Tundra truly are beyond hope. What's this? Our dear visitor. It's me. It's raining. This is hardly the place for storytelling. Come to my home in Freezington. Please visit whenever you're ready. So, basically this was kind of a pointless quest. We don't actually do anything over here. I think it's mostly just an excuse to get us out of Freezington for, like, a tiny bit, but it's not exactly a very compelling, like, reason. Hey, come over here, talk to me, and then, like, oh, by the way, go back to the house. Get over there. I will go back in a mo. The thing is, you can fly all around the Crown Tundra whenever you want to, including the Reggie temples. So, basically, I want to see if I can find more of the temples that I'm supposed to go to. Before, and, like, get some convenient fly spots, you know? Huh. Do I need this stripe of Basculin? I might. I know I need one of them. Because there's the blue Basculin, there's the red Basculin, which is this one, and there's the white Basculin. And I have plenty of whites. I don't know if I have red, though. I don't know if I have red or blue. So I might as well just get this one while I'm here, because the thing about the wild... because this is technically a form of a wild area, the whole Crown Tundra area thing. So because this is a wild area in and of itself, the weather can change, and the types of Pokemon you encounter can change sometimes. So I don't know if this Basculin will stay here forever, or not. Might as well get it while I'm here. And if it turns out that I already have red stripe Basculin, and I need a blue stripe Basculin instead, whatever, I'll get the other one whenever I can. For now, I've got this Basculin, and I will name it... I don't have the thing out, but I'll name it Steven. I don't think I've used Steven. Okay. I really just wanted to check over here. No, I've been very negative a lot lately. Let's do something. Let's talk about something positive for a change. I love, like, the general design of the Crown Tundra here. And the Isle of Armor as well. I think that they, like... I feel like they work really well just as, like, areas that have been designed. Without, like, feeling, like, confusing or empty. Like, even though there's still, like, that little complaint of mine of, like, oh, there's very little new Pokemon. It's mostly old Pokemon. I mean, for DLC, that number one, I don't really know what else you would expect too much. They're not going to make an entire... I thought I saw these. They're not going to make an entire, like, new Pokédex just for DLC. So, like, within the realms of DLC, this absolutely makes sense, and is basically probably the best you would expect, really, you know? This is what makes sense. But beyond that, it's like... It feels... fun to explore and just move around in, which I think is a big deal. And it's, like, memorable. which I think makes it feel very worth it compared to Gen 9, what came after this. Because Gen 9, to me, I mean, I'm gonna be positive by talking about something negative in another game. It's like, Gen 9 feels very empty and unengaging for the area design. And I really am not too big on it. Okay, Rory, you are too big for this camera. I am taking you out. Let's get a bunny out instead. Actually, no. You're smallest, so you get to be in front. How about that? Hey, the Beldum. Gen 9 felt too open and, like, really unmemorable, whereas Gen 8 and, like, these DLC areas, they always felt... They feel really like the equivalent of a Pokémon route. Is the best way I can describe it. Like, the routes of, like, older Pokémon games, but, like, done in a different format. Which, to me, is, like, basically the ideal for what I would want out of, like, a 3D Pokemon game, is these kinds of areas, essentially. Because, like, it leans more towards, like, freedom of exploration. Like, you can move the camera around, you can go around like this, like, there's all this, like, elevation stuff going on. It's more engaging and more fleshed out than the more stagnant routes of even just Gen 8 or other regions like Gen 6 and Gen 7 and whatnot. Like, this feels like a very natural evolution of the route style of Pokemon overworld design. And I think it works really, really nicely. And this is the kind of thing that I would personally prefer to see in a Pokemon game. And Gen 9 being basically just like the giant oval that it was trying to be, kind of took this whole... It took the whole open world concept a bit too far. And I don't think it really worked in its favor. To say nothing of that game's performance issues, which I think stem from how ambitious its overworld design was. So many items, so little time! Dum ba da dum ba da dum! Dum dum ba dum! That's the jingle of the DLC, apparently. Just item pickup noise. The Ice Beam didn't get the memo. Anyways, we're here now. Now, here's my question. Do I unlock this as a fly point immediately? No, I think I have to go inside it. Alright, well, if I have to go inside it, then here's the reason why we got Cryogonal a moment ago. Which button is to boxes? That button's to boxes. Because the puzzle for... The puzzle for getting into this one, I do believe, is just to have a Cryogonal. Walk together with a living crystal of snow. And thus we open it. Alright. And if you couldn't guess, this is where Regice is found. Once I do this, I'll probably head back to the village. Because this is kind of a big, slow dead end. All the way up here. Jackie! Hello! So yeah, my main thing is just, I do really distinctly think that there is a really strong design style of, like, this area. I think it works very nicely. And I think it's a shame that Gen 9 didn't follow in this game's footsteps, necessarily, with that. But, oh well! At least it's fun for the Gen 8 DLC. I think, honestly, it's easy to kind of meme on, like, the footprints and the Diglets and whatnot, but I do think that having those kinds of things, like, to explore and look for, in and of themselves, is also just a very nice touch. Like, maybe it's a lot to look for. Wow, these dust balls are really working. Maybe it's a lot to look for, but, like, it does make you want to comb every inch of these areas, and I think there's a validity towards that. It gives you more of a reason to go and look and explore, even if you're not trying to get the Pokemon like I am. You know, like, it's still something to do. Anyways, we got Regice again. I don't love the... I think that's also a little bit disappointing when I think about it, is, like, the puzzles for these ones. They're not nearly as exciting as the Braille ones were. And, like, they're mostly just like, oh, do a basic action like whistle, or have a Pokemon with you. Compared to, like, the really weird-ass things you had to do in Hoenn, where it's like, use fly in a room. Or you use dig in, like, a specific point. In... I don't know, like, I feel like it was a little more ambitious back in Hoenn. You know? Anyways, we have this fly point up here now, so... that's useful. But let's go back to here. And do what we must. Have you seen what's happened to the statue of the King of Bountiful Harvest? Its head has become massive. The statue's been broken since he was a child. You want to learn about the Loyal Steed? Let's have some hot cocoa. An old book I read long ago said the King's Loyal Steed was particularly fond of a certain special vegetable. But my memory isn't what it used to be. I can't recall exactly what the steed so desired. Search on the bookshelf over there if you want to find out any more. What do the books say? Hardy crops. While carrots can be grown in the Crown Tundra, they have rather unusual growth habits. When in snow, they develop into ice root carrots. When grown in tracks close to where many souls are laid to rest, shade root carrots will be your crop. According to old fairy tales, the steed that the King of the Bountiful Hybrid throws upon loved both of these varieties, or perhaps one or the other. Some stories speaking of a white steed delighting in ice root carrots, and others mentioning a black steed devouring shade root carrots. I'm done reading. Well, seems like we've got our answer now. Hi, buddy. Got long, spindly legs. I think Calyrex is neat. I don't love the giant bulbous head, but at the same time I do think it's kind of endeared me a little bit over time. I'm trying to talk to you. Crow row crown. I had a feeling someone called me. Was it you? Huh? Blurg. Human child! Were you able to find something about my loyal steed? Yes. It likes carrots. It's been so long since we rode together that I completely have forgotten. What is it my loyal steed would find so irresistible? Carrots. I remember now. Even back when we were together, it would leap at any chance to eat some kind of crop. It took everything I had to restrain it. Looking back, the crop must have been carrots! I am in your debt, human child. What we must do now is clear. If we are able to find carrots somewhere, it should be but a trifle to lure my loyal steed back to me. Did the humans of the village grow any carrots? If we contain even a single seed, I could grow a carrot from it myself. Okay. Well, we know somebody who's growing carrots. Right over here. Well, I need Dynite ore. How do I get Dynite ore? When I did this... like... when I did this before... oh no. When I did this before... in my original save file, I didn't have to, like, grind for anything. Excuse me. Pardon me. I didn't have to grind for anything. I grinded for nothing. And I automatically just had what I needed there. So that tells me that the reason why I don't have Dynite ore is because I did something differently this time around. And there's only one different thing that happened to me. There's only one different thing that happened to me. And that was I didn't beat the Suicune. Which tells me that I get Dynite ore from doing Dynamax. Because they also start with the same, like, kind of vibe thing. So I'm just going to see if fighting this gets me anything. I might not be able to beat it. I probably won't be able to beat it. But I can at least try and use, like, a Dynamax Drain Punch. And that might help. I don't know. We'll see if this is if this actually gets me anything. I'm not really expecting this to go well, especially because this is a 5-star, which is like the highest star ranking, so this is going to be one of the hardest ones. But I don't know, maybe even failing will get me rewards. I'm pretty certain you get something for even just at least trying. I don't know. We'll find out together. Aggron is getting desperate? The battle just started. Maybe it's because I Dynamaxed immediately? I don't know, I got rid of 2 shields. Zoop, 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 zoop. And there's another shield gone. So, hopefully one of these other people will get rid of that last shield. Yes, perfect. Finally, you guys are actually attacking. Incredible. Defense harshly fell. That's pretty useful. Alright, let's get off the Max Knuckle. Wow, that did not do that much. You get another shield? Why? I guess probably because it's like supposed to be 5-star, so that's their way of adding extra difficulties. More shields. Storm raging above you is growing. It's been 2 turns. I have 10 total. Unfortunately, this is my last turn of Dynamax. But this will probably at least get rid of 2 more shields. Yeah. It is hurting it a little bit, I notice, because it's in the yellow now. So it's being hurt while these shields are being broken, so I'm not sure what the shields do. And there goes the shield again. And then getting rid of the shield also gets rid of it, so I don't know. It's a weird situation. My Dynamax ran out, but that means it's only been 3 turns. So I do think I'm actually gonna beat the Aggron, which surprises me. Why is the Pikachu using what? Everybody else doing other things made it so much more effective than me. Alright, well, because I know these things can break out, and that this is not a guaranteed catch, I'll just throw an Ultra Ball. Let's see if it works or not. I don't know, I don't need an Aggron, but... Well, there we go. We got the Aggron. Congratulations. Dynite Ore. I only got 1 for that? I only got 1 from that, guys. Maybe it'll just be easier to go to Dynamax Venture then. Well, I'll probably have to do that in the next episode then. I don't really want to. But... I can. Or maybe I'll just do it off screen, I don't know. I didn't like it the first time around. Ah, I'm being attacked by a giant spider. I'm just gonna do it right now real quick. Pay close attention to who it shows at the top. Steel. Okay. So, ideally I would want to have a fire type. Oh, you can move the camera around. That certainly helps. It wasn't even 10 turns, and yet it kicked us out. Only 3 Pokemon fainted instead of 4, so I don't know what went wrong there, but fuck these stupid Dynamax adventures. I guess I'll get a Sceptile. I don't know if I even got any Dynite ore from that mess. Oh, I did. Okay, cool. I got 3, which gives me exactly as much as I need. And I got a Sceptile from that, so cool. Neat. So I got a Sceptile. Dialga can fucking eat my dick. And fuck Dynamax Adventures, they're not fun. But I got the freaking stuff I need. So... I guess my only question is, how long do I keep this episode going for? And the answer is probably should end around now. Alright, so we got the seeds. Let's finish up this cutscene. Found the carrots. Yes, it took way more effort than it was necessary. He's constantly amazed by the concept of bags. The fields of the village won't do. They're not suited for growing carrots. We could find rich soil. I could use my powers to grow the crops we need. Where will let me find soil suited for growing these crops? There's 2 spots that might suit our needs. One is a field covered in pristine snow. Another is a spot by a field by gravestones, where those who moved on were laid to rest. Either of those locations should allow me to use my powers and grow the carrots we need. Please, I ask that you choose a field and plant those seeds. So next time on Let's Play Pokémon Sword, we'll choose one of those places to do stuff. And I already know which one I'm doing. So, next time on Let's Play Pokémon Sword, we're gonna go back out into the Crown Tundra and continue this quest. Continue multiple quests, in fact.